fogapparel.com, code HEAVYLIGHT. Save 10% on everything you buy. Fraternity of Girth is a company that is walking the walk, man. If you didn't see, they put out a line of shirts that were called the Save the Games shirts. And what they did is they allowed games in particular, festivals that had athletic competitions in them, to get on board with Fraternity of Girth to put out a shirt for sale. And all proceeds from the sales of those shirts go to support those games, because they are not going to have a festival. They're not going to have the budget they would normally have. And as we know, one bad year can kill the games. So they are walking the walk. They're supporting the sport. They're supporting the culture. They're doing it, man. So go to fogapparel.com, buy the sweet-ass clothes. When the next round of these Support the Game shirts come out, make sure you get one for your local games or for whatever games you love, wherever your buddies throw. Show your support. Show your love. Fogapparel.com. Use code HEAVYLIGHT. You know what I realized we haven't done in a while is database skulking. This is like the first return theme thing we're ever going to do in the Heavy Light podcast. So I remember the last time, and this was like 20,000 episodes ago, I went through and I looked at last year's best of like the event rankings, which is like a feature on the old database here, the NASGA database. It doesn't get a lot of love, but it's kind of neat because you can see what the best throws are, like the top throws and like all the throws ranked for a certain event. And I think we went through Braemar Stone last time, the Braemar Stone. So it's tempting to want to just go in trad order here and do it, but now let's not do that. Let's jump around. So when I come back and do this later, I'll have no idea what event I'm on. That's smart. Let's do heavyweight for distance, because nobody likes throwing the heavyweight for distance. So let's do that. Let's do 2019 heavyweight for distance, because 2020 doesn't exist anymore. It's not a real thing. We're going to skip that one over in the history books and in the database rankings. Everybody will just have some fake numbers that they threw together for their own home practice, and everybody will set a world record, and we'll be fine. Just killing time while the database loads right now. I threw sheaf today. You guys excited about that? I threw sheaf because I am like a moron, like I tend to be, trying to change the way considering changing the way I throw sheaf. I am a reach and rip style thrower, a la Mike Dickens, Garrett Blatnick, the best examples I can think of that, which is a simplistic, push it out as far as you can on the stick side, your right side for a right-handed thrower, and just stand up really hard and pull it really hard. And don't worry about driving it down and catching it on the right. It's got me throwing higher than I ever have, but now I want to do some much higher throwing than that now that I'm consistent. So after talking to your friend of mine, Spencer Tyler, at the Arnold, when I struggled with that 28-pound bag, I told him that I would work on it. I gave him my word, and I did. I started implementing the drive down on the right, and then push with the right hand. And it went pretty high today, I'm not going to lie. I'm probably I tried to do the math on a live stream at some point, but I was like 4 out of 6 on throws over like a 80% intensity. So it's not quite completely dialed in yet. I'm not like just, hitting the stroke, hitting the bag path perfectly as much as I would like. So I'll try to get much more consistent at that 80-85% range before I try to add any more. But overall, I was pretty happy with how it was flying. A couple of them went much higher than expected for that intensity level. It was good. All right, let's look at the 2019 heavyweight for distance rank. Let's skulk. It's tempting to want to start with the amateurs. Let's start from the bottom of the list. I don't know how it organizes these. Probably alphabetical order by class, I would guess. All right, women first. Libby Johnson with a 51 feet and 11 inches. Here's my question. What weight was that thrown with? I know like the women's is, obviously it's a 28, but is she a masters woman? Let's find that out, because that's a big throw. I don't think it is. I think that's a straight up, that's got to be, because it's right in line, because you got Christine Rothwell. I don't know Libby, unfortunately, but Christine Rothwell threw a 50-foot 10-incher. Adrian Wilson, 50-foot 8. Alyssa Hapner, 49-foot. Yeah, these are all. And Adrian Wilson with 2 N's, threw a 47 9.5. God, women can throw, man. It's amazing. Let's look up Libby. I don't know anything about her. We're going to skulk on you, Libby Johnson. Libby Johnson. Starts with a J, right? Let's look in 2019. Yeah, those are some big numbers. It's pretty tight at the top there. Like the top four really are all within like half a foot of each other. Basically, it's pretty insane. All right, let's look at Libby here. Libby Johnson. We're going to learn. This is the Learn More About Libby Johnson podcast now. Let's look. Jay. Libby Johnson. Should I know Libby? Have I met Libby? This is always the problem because I've traveled around so much and I've met so many people in the games. I might forget. She throws in Virginia. I probably threw with her on the East Coast last year. Yeah, that's a 28-pound. Wait. Hold on a second. What? It says her heavyweight for distance is 19 feet, 23 feet here. Are we dealing with a typo or a different Libby Johnson? I think we're dealing with a different Libby Johnson potentially. Is that possible? 51 feet, 11 inches. Is there another Libby Johnson? Will the real Libby Johnson please stand up? Please stand up. I think that's the only Libby Johnson. Is that? Yeah. Well, Libby, I think there might be a typo that made you the best heavyweight thrower in the world. Besides that, Christine Rothwell, 50 feet 10 inches, and Adrian Wilson at 50 feet 8 inches. Sweet. Let's investigate Libby's problem here. What's your problem, Libby Johnson? It was at Radford? Where's Radford games? Let's look at the scores from that. Virginia, and Summer Games, and Summer Games, and Summer Radford, Highlander. Yes, it appears that we have our lightweight for distance and our heavyweight for distance reversed. So she threw a 51-11 heavyweight and a 35-11 lightweight. I believe those are incorrect. So sorry, Libby. But hey, that was a cool moment in the sun we had, though, wasn't it? I'm still happy for you. I'm glad you're throwing well. But big ups to the ladies there. There's some big throws. Anything over 50, so big. Pro, I wonder who it's going to be. Spencer Tyler with a 51-foot, 1.5 inch at Queen Mary Scots Fest. Monstrously huge. Beyond that, the next best throw of 2019 in the database was Jeff Cast at 44 feet, 8.5 inches. Hey, good job, Jeff. Zach Ryder right behind him at 44, 2 3/4. Chuck Casson, of course, right behind him at 44, 1.5. Luke Crowley, number 5 at 43 feet, 8.5 inches. Anything in the mid 40s, 40s and up is just huge, man. Dan Tennyson, 43, 1.5. But God, the gap between 1 and 2, 51 feet, 1.5 inches for first place. And then second is 44 feet. That's almost 7 feet difference between first and second. There is a next level athlete if you're looking for it. Let's see. Jace Wheeler in para-chair threw a 9-foot 10 inch. I don't know how in the hell he did that. Congratulations. That is impressive. Para-standing, Ethan Allison, 33.7. And Matt Hall at 30 feet, 0.5 inches. Throwbros athlete Matt Hall coming in second there. Hey, Matt, throw the heavyweight farther, man. That guy's 3 feet ahead of you. Ethan's a stud too, so not surprising there. Para-standing, para-chair. Let's see. Other, I don't know really what that contains, so we're going to skip that because who knows what kind of poor data you're getting there, right? Novice. Interesting that, I mean, of course, it's a database class, so we're going to see that tracked. I'd imagine most of these are done with the 42 or just incorrectly put in as other weights because I have problems believing that a novice is throwing over 30 with the 42 when he's never touched it before. But we got guys throwing 37 in the novice class. So, hey, if you're doing that with a 42, good on you, man. Nicely done. Let's skip over the novices because that's going to be another dirty data set. You don't know what they're throwing for a heavyweight, and that's fine. It doesn't need to. You need to enter it somehow, right? If they care about it. Masters. Here we go. Brent Miller. The master throws the 42 feet, 42 weight for distance. These are absurd numbers. 54 feet, 54 feet and a half inch. That's far. Zolkowitz threw 54 feet in Maine as a master. Brady Miller, one of the other Miller monsters, 53.3. Will Barron, 52.9.75. Still doing it, man. Way to go, dude. And then John O'Neill throwing a 51, 6.5. Shane Sutherland, 51 feet, 3.5. That's big. Way to go, Shane. Dickens, 49.3. Could not break 50 this year, huh? TJ Watkins, in only like his 2.5 year or whatever throwing 48, 9.5 with that thing. Hey, dude, stop being so athletic and big. This is mixed in with the women too, so I'm gonna suss that out right now. I'm gonna see if we can get to a women's masters class because there's some women's numbers in here. I think this is like all masters. And then let's see, Rob Muhlenberg, who came up on the last database skulking episode. I talked about our time sharing freeze pops and talking about our feelings at a sleepover. He's 48 feet 1 inch. That's big, dude. Good job last year. Jeff Dewar with a 47.9 with the 42. Good God, man. And that was probably a one turn or like a standing throw or a put. I don't know what it is. That's how you throw, man. Let's see. Who are we going to next? What class is this next? Going up the list. Lightweight. Boo. This is all lightweight, it looks like. So it's going to be men and women mixed together. So, but Emily, that's my son screaming at his friends on a video call in the background if you can't hear that. Emily Hilty, this is men and women mixed together. So with a 52.5, they're throwing the 28. Jarvina Rout, Thoroughbro's athlete, throwing 50 feet 2.5 inches. That's big with a 28. And then you got the men. Is there a way to suss out lightweight men versus women in this list? That's what I'm curious about. Or is it just going to throw them all together and say, so this is a lot of people in this next class. So much scrolling. My hand's getting tired. Now it's just amateur after that. So we got to kind of suss out men and women masters. Let's go back to Skulk more. Who's going to get their hand raised in the Heavy Light Podcast saying of names contest? It's okay. Masters. The big women's throws were Heather Payne, 52, 8.25. That's big. Mona Malik, 49, 9.5. That's also big. Erica Hay, 48, 2. God, these are just monster throws with a 28. I assume most of them are 28. Maybe some of them are 21s, depending on, but I think that's kind of fallen out of favor, generally speaking. I don't know. There's some places that still do it. I know it was a big bone of contention for a while, but, what isn't? When it comes to implement weights, right? So the lightweight stuff, yeah, let's just go down the women first. Emily Hilty, 52, 2.25. Jay Rout, Jarvina Rout, Thoroughbro's athlete, 50 feet, 2.5 inches. Michaela Sullivan, 46.6. God, these are so far. Nicole Davis, 45, 4.75. For lightweight women, that's so far. Then for the men, number one, Peter Doyle, national champion, reigning national champion. He's going to reign for 2 years now, longest reigning lightweight national champion. Every champion that won last year, including pro, is going to be the longest reigning single-year champions of all time. Congrats. But Peter threw a 48, 38.5 inches. He's probably lying about that. He probably pulled the tape himself. I know what kind of dude he is, all right? You know what? I'm on to you, Peter. I've seen how you operate, man. Greg Pilling at 46 feet, 4 inches. Big. Carl Gerke, 43 feet, 10 inches. He's probably 40 pounds overweight when he threw that, though. I don't think I made this list last year. No, not in any appreciable way. Matt Adams is ahead of me at 43, 3.5. Jeff Thornton threw a 43.1. Got to go quite a ways to get to me and Willis Graves and the Flow 41s. 41.1, 41.2. Boo, Willis and Mike. Boo. Jeremy Irvin with the last throw over 40 in the list. That a boy. Jeremy Irvin, 79 years old. Still flinging it. All right, let's go to the amateurs. This is a long-ass list here because it includes everybody. But I think it'll suss out to where. I keep saying suss out. I don't even know what that word means. I just say it because it sounds so suss it out. It's probably like a hairbrush technique. Garrett Blatnick, no surprise, with a 45-foot, 4-inch throw. Whew, that was in April. That's big, man. That's pro level. You're ready, dude. Kendall Thomas, always a good weight thrower. 43 feet, 4.5 inches. Corey Frazier, always in it. 42 feet, 9.25. Way to go, man. Scott Hutcherson, still slinging weights, man. That dude's been at it a while. 42 feet, 1 inches. Longest reigning amateur maybe ever, Scott Hutcherson. Maybe go pro. Kyle McKelvey, 41 feet. Jonathan Harding, 40 feet. It holds up, man. You got Scott Farr threw a 40-footer. That's awesome, man. That's a dude that's maybe only 10, 15 pounds heavier than me throwing a 40-foot with a 56. That's big. Chad Thompson. Do I know Chad? That's a big throw, 40 feet, 3 inches, if that's indeed a 56-foot throw. Hayden, the Pirate Captain Ballio, 39 feet, 11 last year. He's broken 40 since then, but that's 39.11. So you look at that top 10, that really holds up, man. That, we've talked about that in previous episodes, that 40-80 mark now. And, the top 10 pros are over 40, and only one of them's over 45. So that's kind of how you start doing your selection process. I think weights are just a good barometer, man. They're just a good technical barometer and strength barometer. If you're throwing 40-80 in the AMs, I think you're ready to go play with the big boys for the most part. You might struggle for a little bit with other stuff, but if you can master those and throw them far, there's a good chance you're going to do well in other places, and you're strong enough to get through the second half of the day events when you're doing traditional order. So Garrett's definitely that. I think Garrett had a great pro season lined up, and now it's kind of falling apart because of the pandemic and whatnot. So it's kind of a bummer. I kind of want to see what he'd do up there, because it's a good thrower, man. He's continuing to work really, really hard. If you follow his Instagram, he's working hard, man. He's dropping some weight, getting lean and mean. I think he's going to be more explosive. I don't think losing 20 pounds is going to be a bad thing for him. I think he's still in that, point where he was never in the diminishing returns body weight because he's big and tall. I don't think he was big when he was pushing 300, but I don't think he's going to lose much by going down to like 275 or so and competing there. I mean, he's just so strong. I don't think he's going to lose a lot. I think he'll get more mobile and a little faster and be able to move through space and still have plenty of strength to move stuff. It looks that way anyway. It looks like he's in pretty good shape. That was a good skulk of the heavyweight throws. Should we do another one? That went faster than I expected. Let's do another one. Let's talk some more shit about friends. All right, lightweight for distance. Let's just do lightweight for distance. Let's just do both weights. Keep it thematic. Let's see how many relationships we see between those and how many relationships we can ruin. Oh, what do we got here? Hey, database, be slower. Come on, load up for me. I'll have 2 windows open and slow you down that much more. I guess it's a big report I'm asking for. I know, I'm asking a lot. Hey, Hayden, hurry up with HDO. All right, let's look at the lightweight numbers. What do we got here? See, it does shift up a little bit. We'll go top down. Kendall Thomas, last year, amateurs, 85 feet 4 inches. Man, he's a good weight thrower. Eric Bajarin, don't know him. Therefore, he doesn't count. 84.5. Scott Hutchison, go pro Scott. 83 feet 9 inches. Skylar Arneson. This was like the last time he threw amateur, I think. At Iron Thistle threw 82.10. Garrett up there with an 82.7 3/4. Pretty cool. So, yeah, top 7. Kyle McKelvey is the last one over 80 at 81 feet 7.5 inches. And I know some of this is incomplete, and people are going to, message him with corrections or whatever, and pitchforks and torches and whatnot. But, top 7 over 80, and there's kind of your mark, You only got a few guys into the mid-80s. You got Kendall at 85, Scott down to Scott on 83, and everybody that you can say is low 80s from there. So, yeah, that's about how many should be looking at having a pro career at this point. Let's go down the amateurs. No big surprises. Everybody kind of gums up at like the high 50s, the mid to high 50s. That's where so many people fall right there. We're not worried about you losers. Only the best. All right, lightweight. It's going to be a mix of women and men. We'll go through the women first. Emily Hilty, again, 72.9, big. Jarvina Rout, Thoroughbros athlete, 70 feet 2 inches. Who else? Michaela Sullivan. It's the same people. It's just, what do you know? They can throw the heavyweight well. They can throw the lightweight well. And then at the top for the dudes, Greg Pilling, 68.9. Chris Sickler, that a boy, 65.9. Jason Flanagan, nice, man, 65.9. Carl Gurka, 65.4. Mike Beach, 65.2.5. Matt Adams, 65.1. Oh, Matt Adams just below Mike Beach. That's sad. Peter Doyle just below Mike Beach for the year, too. That's so sad, 64.1. Oh, well. One day, you guys will have what it takes. Yeah, pretty good showings over there. Not a lot of lightweights over 70 right now. I don't think we're like thick with weight throwers as we have been in the past. We don't have John Oden. We don't have Scott throwing the lightweights anymore. Peter's a pretty good weight thrower. He's only going to get better. The number's only going to get bigger. Matt's going to go over 70, I'm sure. But we don't have a lot of over 70 weight throwers in the lightweight. Not a lot of strong weight throwers. I think if we're honest with ourselves, fellas, we're not strong weight throwers. We need to work on that. Get that respect. Masters, men and women, mixed. So let's go through. Will Barron, 79.0.5. Man, 79 is big no matter what age you are. And doing it in the Masters. Brent Miller, 78.8. Brady Miller, 78 1.5. Hey, you guys are too good. Stop. Mike Zolkowitz, 77.1. Shane Sutherland, 73.3. Rob Muhlenberg, 73. Man, you guys are this same crowd, this same group is going to dominate the weights for a while. John O'Neill, 72, 7.5. Jeffrey Dewar, hanging in with the big boys, Dewar. I'm proud of you, man. Texas boy. Well, you know about them Texas boys. Jeffrey Dewar, 72.3. Another Texas boy. Mike Dickens at 71.4. Got a lot of guys over 70, man. Not in age. I'm sure you got some of those too. TJ, my boy TJ, my hunting buddy TJ Watkins at 70 feet 1 inch in there. That a boy. Dave Barron at 70 feet 9 inches. The last guy at over 70 is Andrew Hobson at 70 feet and a half inch. The first lady on the list appears to be Andrea Montague, 68 feet 7 inches. That's a big throw. And a girl. Jason Spraggins, 67, 10 and a half. I didn't know you ever threw 67. What the hell, dude? Jack Coleman, 65, 8.5. Hey, Jack, throw the lightweight farther. Jonathan Irvin, at 125 years old, still throwing 63. Good job, man. Let's go down. Let's look further in the list. I wish they sussed out the Masters men and women in this list, in this report. I should write an email. I should write an angry letter to the admin. When's the last time anybody wrote an angry letter? Do you guys do that anymore? You write angry emails to companies or to people? I can't remember the last time I've done that. Okay. Looking at novices, just want to point out, I do like to point out a good name, and I'm going to have to adjust my mic and get closer to the screen to see this. Joshua. Okay. At the Portland Highland Games in July of 2019, someone named Joshua Uwikilifi, who I have to guess that's a Samoan name, right? Or like a Polynesian name of some kind. Joshua Uwikilifi threw a 56 1.5 in the novice class. Hey, that a boy. Way to go. Good job. That's the only stop we're going to make in the novice class, just because you had a unique name and you threw the best throw by half an inch. Micah McRae. I lied. I said two names. Micah McRae threw half an inch shorter than you, 56-1 at the Battle for Oklahoma. So good job, Joshua Uwikilifi and Micah McRae. Pretty good names between the two of you. I'd say like 75% of the names and letters in there are excellent. So well done. Let's go on down. A lot of novices, man. What a good sign that is. All right, others. I don't know. It's just Brady and Brent at the top of others throwing fucking bombs 78 feet. So you guys are the other champions as well. Seems to be a lot of masters catching up there. Pair of standing, Ethan Allison still beating out Matt Hall in the weights. Hey, Matt, throw further than Ethan if you want to be a winner. Ethan Allison throws 51.6 with the lightweight. Matt Hall throws 45.5. I think he's thrown further since then. Jace Wheeler throws 18.10 in the parrot chair. That's incredible. Spencer Tyler, what do you know? At the top of the pro class. God, look at this again, man. The distance between him and the next people is insane. Spencer Tyler first on the pro list with 97 feet, 7.25 inches at Pleasanton, which is also a world record. Kevin Becker is the next one behind him with a 90 foot, 9.25 inches. Do you guys understand how fucking impressive 90 feet is? I know we understand it, like on paper, and in a sense we get it, but I'm gonna pull the I've been there card. Have you ever seen somebody throw 90? It's fucking unbelievable. It's most of the shit we throw is heavy, and even when it's a good throw with a 56 or something, it still seems kind of lumbering a lot of times, like it's not a flying. When somebody throws something 90 fucking feet, it's attention getting. So Kevin Becker, at probably 230 or 240 pounds, throwing a 90-foot weight for distance is fucking unbelievable. Like, that's superhuman, and there's only a handful of people on the face of this planet that have ever done it and ever will do it. And Spencer beat him by almost 7 feet that year. He threw 7 feet further than that. He's going to throw it 100 feet. He's going to. The rest of these guys are going to catch up and all be throwing 92. 90 as well. And some will throw 92 as well. But Kevin Becker throwing 90 is fucking crazy. Anybody throwing 90 is fucking crazy. We had a time where we had Matt Vincent and Dan McKim throwing 90s on the reg against each other. And I feel like we almost got inoculated against it. We were like, oh yeah, they're throwing 90s. That's fucking insane. And Dan wasn't even like a renowned weight thrower. He should have been, because he could throw it over fucking 90. But it's insane. And then to say that, hey, the guy that's the best throws it 97 feet. I don't know what you do if you're a pro trying to beat him in the weights. I don't know what you do. Try witchcraft. Try human sacrifice, I guess. I'll line up to be the first one sacrificed. I'll do it. If somebody can throw 100 with the weight for distance, they can use me as a human sacrifice to do it, to please the Highland Games gods. Number 3, Luke Crowley, 85.7. That's a lot. That's a big gap between 1, 2, and 3. 5 feet between Luke and Kevin Becker. Kyle Lilly, 85.6. Kyle's coming into his own, man. He's throwing big. I think he's going to go 90 if he hasn't already since then. Kyle Lilly, 85.6. Zach Riley. God, man, Zach's so good at the weights, especially. 85.3. I don't know how he gets so much speed with those tiny feet. Jason Johnston, 84.3 in Calgary. Nathan Burchett, 84.1. Oh boy. Jeff Cast, 83.9.5. I know Jeff can throw further, too. Scott Ryder, 83.4.5. Scott Ryder's a good weight thrower. We don't see his name come up a lot because he throws in Scotland and the UK a lot. So, but bear in mind that he is a world champion and he is incredible at pretty much all the events. So remember that. Whenever he throws over here, he's going to fuck shit up. Dan Tennyson, 83.2. The recently retired Dan Tennyson. How sad is that? Man, so many pros over 80. So contrast that with what we looked at in the amateur class, only like 7 guys. There's 20 people over 80. I mean, that's insane. Colin Dunbar already throwing in the 80s. He's going to be a problem, man. If he sticks with it, he's going to be a problem in the pro class. He's so big and strong. Scott Farr, the former lightweight stud, world champion, and did he ever win a national championship? I don't know if he ever lined up that he did. I'm sure that he did. Multiple Highland Games lightweight champion, Scott Farr. Numbers-wise, the best lightweight to ever do it. Let's just put it out there. He and I both give deference to the fact that Mark Howell was doing it before anybody else when it was the Wild West, and he was doing this as like a 170-pounder guy, and he's won tons of championships and threw some fucking huge, ridiculous numbers. We both give deference to that, but numbers-wise, Scott's the best to ever do it, just in terms of what he did. And now he's throwing as a pro and as an AM, and he throws an AM, and now I think he's gone pro, and he's throwing fucking 40 and 80 with the weights at like a low 200s body weight. He's a fucking stud. Let's see. That's the pro class. Aaron George at 77.5. Had to go down the list a little bit, I'm not going to lie, but I wanted to find him. But you did beat Scott Hutchinson. So that's what you get for not going pro. You get beat by Aaron George. Rob Muhlenberg, 74.1.5, down at number 40 on the list. Why you throw the heavyweight so much better? Oh, this is the pro numbers. That's why you're further down. All right, women. This was the one, dude. Jamesia Sanu, who I met finally, threw 99 feet, 11 and a half inches. Let me say that again. She threw 99 feet, 11 and a half inches with a 14-pound weight for distance, and it was like her second games ever. Sometimes I just want to quit. Because when really talented, strong people show up, it just reminds me that I should quit. 99 feet, like second games ever. That's stupid. That is so stupid. It's amazing. Great throw. That's so big. She's going to go. Has she gone over 100 since then? She had to have, right? Has she gone? She had to have gone 100. And by the fucking way, I had to have brought this up before. Whoever you are out there marking that throw as 99 feet, 11 and a half inches, I probably know you because you did it at Keltober, so this is okay. Maybe it was Kyle. Maybe it was Mark Cannon. Maybe it was somebody I know. But hey, go fuck yourself just a little bit. Make it 100. Make it a fucking 100. Don't ever, when somebody's about to break into triple digits for the first time in the history of an event. Oh, man. Just wait. Hey, just flub it a little for me, okay? If you want, every time I throw weight for distance for the rest of my career, take a half inch off of mine if you just give her that half inch. Don't mark it 99, 11 and a half, mark it 100, and everybody have a lot more beers about it. But I know we're a real sport, and you had to get the steel tape, and you had to pull it tight and everything like that. But come on, make it 100. somebody text me and tell me who was the judge of that class. Because you and I need to have a talk. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at you. We're both Texans. I get it. I'm a little disappointed is all. And I just want to talk about, we're not going to talk so much about consequences. We're going to talk about how to fix our behavior going forward. What do we do next time, right? Number 2, Olivia Tyler, 89.9. Number 3, Nikita Marzano at 86.6. That's big. Alyssa Hapner, 86.3. Christine Roth, a bunch of ladies over 80. Nice job. Emily Adams, 81, 1.5. Man, she's coming up strong. Emily looks really good. I think she's going to do some big things. Megan McKee, 82, 3.5. She's number 6. Adrian Wilson at number 8, 80 feet, 6.5 inches. How does she's just continually dropping bombs forever, Adrian Wilson is. God, I love her so much. She's such a wonderfully sweet person that is incredibly giving with knowledge, which is kind of like my favorite thing, is people when they're good or they know things that they don't share them, or they don't have the knack for it or whatever. Like if you don't have the knack for it and you don't like coaching, I get it. But like if, you just feel like, it's, I worked for all that, I'm going to keep it. I'm sure there's some of you out there, but you're not cool for doing that. But she is like the antithesis of that is what I'm saying. Like she's so eager to share and so eager to help. And she's like I think she's a big part of she inspired me to be that in our culture, to instead of like siloing knowledge and stuff like that and keeping it amongst your throwing group or your people, just fucking give it out for free to anybody who asks and help anybody who asks ever, because it makes everybody happier. Yeah. So that's why I love Adrian Wilson. So a lot of ladies over 80, a lot of ladies over 70. I talked about that article too, where they talked about the kind of the influx of women in the games. And, the thing that I remember, I listened back to that and my thoughts were so scattered when I was reading that article, because it's kind of the nature of the article. But one thing that I wish that it had been able to talk about more, but you can't expect it from like somebody who's not in the sport, is just how fucking good the women are right now. And that it's not just like a matter of participation. It's not that there's just more women. There are more fucking studs coming in the women's class. And it's going to become like the class to watch if it hasn't already in some places. Like I find myself more intrigued to watch the women's classes in a lot of places than I do the pros, depending on who's there. Because I think sometimes just the regions work out and the invites work out a certain way where you get just this absolute murderer's row of women at these games. And like, just because we've been so male-centric, we don't really realize it a lot of times. It's like, oh, wait, Nikita and Alyssa in this group? Like, that's right there. Like, you've got some fucking killers and you're going to see some big throws. So, yeah, cool to watch. All right, I'm not going to do another event after that, but I do need to circle back to Openstone at some point. I just got my shipment of Sport Kilt masks, and they look amazing. I have 4 Sport Kilt masks, all different tartans. They're beautiful. The children love to wear them. My wife keeps stealing them from me. They're fantastic. They fit. And you know what the best part is? There's a lot of masks that I've been either makeshift wearing or real, medical masks that I've been wearing, but they're just not that comfortable. Sport Kilt did a good job making a comfortable mask that actually looks good. It's got an insert, something you can stick in a filter if you want to. You can put, you can put a vacuum filter in there, like a vacuum bag or whatever. You can put it in there and it'll work. Makes it a little harder to breathe. You got to be more careful about not sucking in air all around it, whatever. You put in something too powerful, but you can put in whatever kind of filtration that you want in there. These are they're stylish, they're cool, they're like a call sign for our little weird culture here that we have in this sport, and I love it. And I've got people that are well outside the Scottish Highland Games that see them, they love them, and they want them. So go to sportkilt.com. In addition to getting a kilt to compete in the games, getting everything else you need to get geared up for the Scottish Heavy Athletics, get you some masks, support what they're doing out there, buy some for your favorite essential employees, first responders, hand those out to them. I guarantee you they're going to love how stylish they are and how effective they are. Sportkilt.com, use code HEAVYLIGHT. Now, I realize early on in the episode, I forgot to update you guys about your favorite person, and that's me. So I have been keeping pretty busy. I've been continuing to coach my athletes through Heavy Light. Things have been going really, really well. People are still putting up good numbers in practice. People are really consistent. I did that free trial month a while back and got a lot of new faces, a lot of fresh blood. I'll definitely do something like that again in the future because I think it's a cool way to meet new people, let people try out the programming, stuff like that. The big things that are coming for me, I guess, or that for one, I have been kind of testing and beta testing a lifting program to go along with heavy light or to be a standalone. So some of the athletes in there are going to be testing that out for me as well in the heavy light program. If you're interested in heavy light programming, you can definitely look for me at mikebeach.com. You can look at the coaching link there. You can sign up for programming. And if you're interested in being part of the kind of beta test for the lifting program, I'd love to have you on there as well. I also started writing, putting pen to paper, I guess, putting, quill in ink onto parchment, but really just typing on my computer, Heavy Light second edition. So there have, in the course of coaching for several years, before and after I wrote the first book, I realized that, my approach to coaching has expanded and evolved, and I think it would be a good idea to have a second edition of the book that expanded upon some of the ideas in there. The first one is definitely written like a manual. It's written to be concise and straightforward and get you into the programming. I now, with the huge amount of data and information that I have from coaching so many athletes and working with so many great people and so many other coaches and learning so much, is that I have what I believe is a fuller compendium of knowledge that I can pass on in a second edition. So I've gotten pen to paper on that one. I've made some progress into it, and it's going to include lifting. It's going to include the programming like we talked about. It's going to include sections about how to get started in the games for newer people, kind of put things out there for newer athletes, how they can find resources, what the path is, how you take a path towards learning, and how you find, all the resources you need. All that kind of stuff is going to be in there as well, because I think I want to create a more comprehensive manual of like how you get into the games and how you progress. And that's kind of what my vision for Heavy Light has always been, creating a way for people to have a path to get to the level they want to get to in the games or get what they want to out of the sport with less obstacles. So that's what Heavy Light second edition is going to be all about. So that's kind of the stuff I've been working on. Besides that, I've been trying to find excuses to get it to my hunting lease. That's pretty much the long and short of it. I've been trying to stay busy working and stay busy homeschooling kids. I think we get like 1 or 2 more weeks of that. So it's going to be really, really nice, I guess, to have a summer where everybody's home all the time. I don't know what's going to be different other than we won't have like a bunch of kid assignments to turn at the end of it. So I'm still stoked having them home. I like it. I like educating them myself. And believe it or not, I don't really talk to my kids or try to teach them Highland Games stuff. If they want to do that, I'm going to let them come to it because, the truth is, guys, we're all a bunch of giant losers. And I just want better for my kids. Heavy Light is brought to you by Throw Bros. Throw Bros is the only online store for Highland Games athletes. Gear up, get throwing. Use code HEAVYLIGHT, all one word. You're going to save 10% at throwbros.com.